Well, here we are in beautiful Porchester Hall. We've just come off air. The first time we did live in London, here in this incredible venue. Dave Bradshaw here, along with Rev Pro owner and booker Andy Quildan. Big show for us, obviously. New era, having moved from the 229 last month here to Porchester Hall. Obvious question: how do you think it went?
I had a great time. I instantly walked into the Porchester Hall and I looked around and I was like, this is too nice for us. It's a beautiful building.
Chandeliers.
Chandeliers. It's a fantastic venue. I feel like my main thing was, like I said to everyone, we have to get this one over the line. I said it in the ring at the 229 when we were talking about, what's happening with Rev Pro and it was like a case of we've got dates penciled in, but we have to make this first one a success in order to then secure the future dates. And I'm pleased to say I've just spoken to venue management and we're good to go. So you'll be seeing us live the first Sunday of every month in the Porchester Hall for the foreseeable future. We're booked all the way through to December next year. We'll be looking to kind of secure as many future dates after that as possible. But certainly we know that our London home for the next, 18 months or so is going to be right here live at the Porchester Hall. So I think that's fantastic. And I hope that anyone watching at home on demand, who saw the venue, who's seen pictures of the venue, understand what a beautiful venue this is, and what a great home this is going to be. It is possible to fall upwards sometimes, and I feel that's what happened with us. Apart from the fact that, like I say, when I secured this venue at 6 a.m, I was on holiday in Mexico, different time zone, and we were able to have that conversation without waking up, probably waking up all the hotel guests, but who cares, because we're here as a result.
We've had a great time.
So it just couldn't be happier. And I'm a much more buzzing than I was last time we did one of these, because that was like after that anniversary weekend, and what a weekend that was. Check it out, revproondemand.com.
Now, speaking of venues, there was a big piece of news about a future venue for us that broke during the show here tonight. Our 14-year anniversary show at the end of August next year, going to be none other than Wembley Arena. Tell us how that came together. What's the scoop here?
First of all, you were very salty earlier because I didn't give you the scoop here. But if you remember,
I want the scoop about it. I can get a secondary scoop.
But if you remember, I actually said to you last week, we hope to have everything secured in a position to be able to announce either last weekend or this weekend. Here we are. We've announced Wembley Arena Saturday, August the 29th. And obviously, I think there's another show in Wembley going on that weekend, isn't there? There's a show going on in the stadium the following day. So it's absolutely perfect in terms of location. They're literally a walk away from one another. So if you're planning to be in Wembley, in the vicinity of Wembley that weekend, then get yourself to the Wembley Arena on a Saturday night, August 29th. It seems to be a very popular announcement. Of course, we had a great time. We loved running the Copper Box Arena. Of course, they were unavailable last year, or if it was last year, this year they were unavailable, so we were unable to go back into the Copper Box. And then really, what it came down to was we'd spoken to the Copper Box about this year, and there was just a lot of stuff within the venues changed, and then that, whilst we were waiting to get answers about some of the changes, that's when the conversation of Wembley came back up. And it just makes sense, and I know like a lot of people are like, oh, it's a big undertaking or whatever have you, but that's what we do, right? And that's, we use a motto all the time, like in our training schools, dare to dream. And that's what we're doing with Wembley Arena. But look, it's no bigger an arena, like I guess it's a bit bigger than the Copper Box, but like if we get the same numbers we got in the Copper Box, we'll be smiling, we'll be laughing, we'll be happy. But look, I'm saying it right now, I'm going to talk it into existence. Our aim is to break our attendance record. Obviously, that's 4,072 people for a standalone Rev Pro show. So our plans to break that attendance record, our plans to try and come as close as we can selling out Wembley Arena. Let's go. And I'm super excited. I'm pumped. I feel like I've never been so infused by a roster that we've had. We've got, I believe, the most talented roster we've ever had. We've got a depth But, you know, as I was saying to some of the guys earlier, like, I feel that, our roster right now, our roster coming out of the pandemic was actually pretty great, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at those wrestlers who were a big part of that then and are still a big part of that now. And the difference is we've all grown up. We've all matured. We've all learned valuable lessons. We've all done the big shows now, and we're all ready. We're all more than ready. And this is what we're looking at Wembley Arena as. This is our showcase. This is our opportunity to show the wrestling world exactly what we're all about. And it's not just about a finish line. Like, it's what I say all the time, right? People look at these big shows and they look at these big shows as a finish line, right? Everything's just the starting point for us, right? The anniversary show last week or 2 weeks ago, that could have been a finish line, right? But as you saw today, so much new stuff started and we carry on, we move forward. And I think that's the most important thing about having that long-term vision and having that sustainable long-term wrestling promotion is by looking at this Wembley Arena show as the next step, right? But as we are on that journey to that next step, we've got so many exciting things still to come. And I'm sure you'll touch on some right now. But like, I just look at stuff like, you know, we're going to Cardiff again in December. And if that works, we're doing it. We announced it this week. We moved around some shows. We moved, because that's the thing, we've got to be flexible, we've got to be fluid, we've got to make most of these opportunities, right? And when AEW announced the Cardiff and Manchester shows, I was like, oh, I wish I had a heads up here because we could have been a bit more proactive. But, you know, I do what we do. We get stuff done, right? Mm-hmm. And we booked the Vale Arena in Cardiff, not far at all from the utility arena where AEW are running on the Saturday. We're running a matinee show on the Sunday, 12 o'clock doors, 1 o'clock bell time. So we've secured that this week. We've moved our Southampton day. Southampton show is going to be moved to, I think it's the 28th of December, whether the Sunday is between Christmas and New Year. So that's going to become our season's beating show in Southampton, as well as securing Wembley all in the last 7 days. It's been a busy 7 days, as well as wrapping up everything from the anniversary show, getting everything prepared for this new venue in the Porchester Hall, and then looking ahead to, obviously, we've announced the Good Brothers this week for our shows in Stevenage. And look, there's a scoop for you. They're going to be in Sheffield as well. Good Brothers are coming to Sheffield. May not be a scoop by the time that this comes out, but who knows how quickly our team
now release this first.
Turn this around. We'll see.
I want the scoop. So, look, let's talk about what happened tonight. We'll come back to Stevenage and Sheffield in a second, but in terms of actual what happened inside the ring, a lot to talk about there as well. In particular, obviously, what happened in the final moments of the show, the Cutthroat Collective launching a post-match assault on both Emerson Jane and Rio, and then on our ring crew, on our referees. They were about to attack Francesca, our ring announcer, as well, until Alex Windsor came out.
Yeah, and look, this is... I always say, like, it's an exciting time to be a part of Rev Pro, none more so than right now. And I feel like what we saw from a Cutthroat Collective tonight was very much what we saw of a Cutthroat Collective when they first came into Revolution Pro Wrestling. And I feel that Sapphire Reed had those words of Alex Windsor saying that she's not been very cutthroat lately, you know, ringing around her head. And I think that it was a statement, it was a message, but little did they know that Alex Windsor was waiting in the wings, and she's made it her mission statement. She's back and she's ready to take out the Cutthroat Collective one by one until finally she lands at Sapphire Reed. So it was an exciting and unpredictable and chaotic end to the show. Of course, we never like seeing our staffers, our ring crew, our camera people, our ring announcer.
I was going to say, things are putting the commentary table a long way away.
Yeah, you were safe. Yeah, so they would have tried to pull you up from the announce desk, and they'd look up and say, "It's Andre! Oh, he's back!" But yeah, like he's very tall, by the way. In case of
that was yeah. You have to explain the joke. It's not a good joke. Anyway,
but yeah, like it was just a chaotic end to the show, and that's it, you know, and exciting end to the show, and it was almost like a icing on the cake of a show as well, because I felt like you know, there was some real good progression in a lot of stuff which is going on in Rev Pro right now, and like you saw Luke Jacobs throwing his name back in the hat, you know, about the Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. You saw Cameron Kai putting his name in the hat when it comes to the Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship. You saw Mills and Joshua continue to look impressive. You saw cracks in the Lycos gym, you know, just so much stuff, like up and down the card. To me, it just felt like there was so much stuff going on. You know, the Machine saga with Trent Seven continues. I didn't feel it was my place to say anything at the, you know, our wrap up last time, but look, Trent Seven and the Machine, they were scheduled to be against each other at our anniversary weekend, but Trent, as he announced today, has become a father. So congratulations to Trent Seven. And and that's why he wasn't at the anniversary show. So, you know, and I think that's what a valid reason to not be there, right?
Yeah.
But like the Machine, Sunshine Machine, whatever you want to call them, you know, they didn't really think that. But obviously, that saga continued.
Well, it's not just that they didn't think that; it's they had some disgusting things to say.
Yes,
and then they followed it up with a physical beatdown.
Yes, and I'm sure that that's not the last we've seen of that. But you know, like I say, but there's so many wrinkles that need to be ironed out over the next few weeks, and fortunately, we're kind of in a situation where I was looking at it yesterday. I was like, I think yesterday I was looking at it and I was like, we've got 5 shows to go till the end of the month. Like, it's not like, you know, it's like we did just the Rev Pro, you know, I said it last time out, you know, like we always talk about the summer of Rev Pro, but as I said at the top of this, we're not just.
So the autumn of Rev Pro now.
Right. And it just continues. It just keeps going. And that's what it's all about. You know, when you're so committed to this, it's about keep growing, keep moving forward, and seeing where this can take us. So in case you can't tell, I'm super excited about what's to come. And I'm so happy that we're able to, not miss a beat in moving homes, because again, like something like, you know, when we lost the 229, you look at it and you're like, what do we do? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can roll over and give up, or you can just come back swinging. And that's exactly what we've done. Kicked off the 14th year of Revolution Pro Wrestling with a new venue. And next time we're here, it's going to be Live in London 100. Of course, we're going to have some treats for you at Live in London 100. It's going to be a big show. We need everyone there. And I feel like, you know, the analogy I've been giving over and over again is like, you know, you plant a plant, you can only grow as big as your pot. We've got a bigger pot now for our monthly shows in London. So let's grow it. Let's see where this thing can take us. We know for sure it's taking us to Wembley, but let's see where else it can take us.
Well, where it immediately takes us is to Stevenage next Saturday, and then Sheffield next Sunday. One of the things we did learn about Stevenage tonight was that CPF, or in particular Maverick Mayhew, cashed in the second of those CPF trophies from last year's Trios Grand Prix to demand a one-on-one match against Callum Newman. That's going to happen at Raw Deal in Stevenage on Saturday. We know about the Good Brothers as well. We talked about that. What else can you tell us about what we're going to see in Stevenage and in Sheffield?
Okay, I'm just going to give you.
Give it to me.
Give you a bone. Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship is going to be on the line on Saturday. It's going to be Luke Jacobs going up against Shah Samuels.
Wow.
Big fighting words. Both men wanted it, and Shah's really feels like he's got something to prove. And like you know Shah, right? And you've heard Shah talk, and you heard Shah's words post winning the championship. Mm-hmm. And I thought that for someone who had just achieved what many people felt was impossible, right? I thought the moment would be filled with joy. Well, I feel that his moment was filled with a lot of reflection, and a lot of reflection of what people thought about him, right? And I feel that, look, we all read social media, so, you know, like me a lot less than a lot of people, but, you know, I get told about it. And, you know, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. Like when you see people saying, like, I don't think this is a guy, I don't think this is a one, you know, he said he'd never been more nervous for a match in his life than his match with Ricky Knight Jr. And a part of that was not just the fact that he's going in the ring with an actual killer, but the fact that he had to follow 2 days of the best pro wrestling in the world. Mm-hmm. Did he follow it? Absolutely. Did he deliver? He more than delivered. He excelled, right? Yeah. And, you know, afterwards he was like, he came up to us like, I will never doubt you again. Those are the exact words. Mm-hmm. So why would you doubt yourself? Do you know what I mean?
And he does, I think. There's still that imposter syndrome there.
Well, that's it. And that's what Luke Jacobs got into.
And he hit a nerve.
Yeah.
Definitely hit a nerve.
And that's why Shah was so adamant that he wanted this match with Luke Jacobs as soon as possible. Because he doesn't want people talking about it. He doesn't want people talking about, Luke Jacobs is a real champion. Luke Jacobs never got his rematch. Luke Jacobs is only not champion because he decided to concentrate on the tag team division, right? So I feel like it's going to be a physical match. It's coming in Stevenage. We don't have to wait long to find out what's going to happen. But, that's just, as Shah said, he's got a target on his back, and like a collateral damage in that, I think, is Harry. He said, like, we're not going to do this anymore, and I think it's probably a wise decision from Shah. He's got to focus on, can't have any distractions.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it in an unkind way. He just, if anything, putting Harry in harm's way, I think is as much of a problem for Harry as it would be for Shah. Anyway, what else can you tell me? I want more. Now you've given me that. Keep them coming. Give me more match announcements.
I can't, look, it's just tired, Dave.
Well, then, if the quicker you give me an announcement, the quicker I can wrap this up and let you go.
I'm trying to think what's coming. Don't know what's coming.
Well, look,
you just got to come along to find out. But keep your eyes peeled on revolutionprowrestling.com. Keep your eyes peeled on the X, the Facebook,
on the
Instagram.
Yeah.
And we will let you know kind of, obviously what's coming up. My new thing is like, when you ask me, what you got coming up, Andy? What you got coming up? I was like, Monday, Dave. Monday. We're going to go back to the office and we're going to figure things out. Going to get to my whiteboard.
Yeah.
And we're going to announce some stuff.
Well, look, normally I would tell you to go have a rest at this point, but as I understand it, you're not having a rest. Well, normally this would be on a Sunday. Tomorrow is Sunday. What are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah. We've got a bit of a community project going tomorrow. So yeah, believe it or not, we don't just sit still. Like, I think a lot of people presume that between shows we do absolutely nothing, but obviously there's a lot of preparation as a kind of detailed, like, about what we've done over this last week, in terms of organizing venues, dates, etc. I just want to book wrestling matches. I just want to book two guys that dislike each other and watch them beat each other up for my enjoyment. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want to do. But yeah, look, I love professional wrestling. I mean, no secret of that fact. And tomorrow we're actually going to be running an event. It's a friends and family. It's a closed doors event, but it's for the kids. Like, we've got we do a summer school at our Portsmouth School of Wrestling. We do a kids class and a teenagers class in the school holidays. They've worked for the last 6 weeks learning the art of professional wrestling, learning how to fall, learning how to give maneuvers, and learning how to take maneuvers in the safest way possible, in a controlled and safe environment. And they're getting the opportunity to showcase that to their parents and their family and their friends. And like I say, at closed door events local to Portsmouth. And it's just an example of, some of the nice stuff that we do that I feel we don't shout about enough, because we don't need to shout about it, because it's, we do it because we love this. But like, I thought it might be a nice opportunity to kind of, let you guys know that, we are, do you know what I mean? We're continuing to give back to grassroots level professional wrestling. Obviously we run juniors and teenagers classes at the Portsmouth School on a weekly basis as well, but it's just something nice for the kids to have done throughout their school holidays. Keep them busy, keep them active, and keep them having a good time. And that's what I think pro wrestling is all about, So looking forward to tomorrow, and then ahead to Stevenage, Sheffield, and then beautiful Barcelona.
Yeah, 2 days for the Trios Grand Prix, 20th and 21st of September. Andy, I'll let you go. Thanks for joining us. Keep an eye on RevPro's social media channels, as Andy said, for more announcements coming up in the days ahead. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining us.
He came so close to getting a scoop for Trios, but he's messed it up for himself.